Asia versus Europe versus Africa versus Americas versus Oceania. What's the best continent?
What is the best continent? I can't help but wonder. Where the heck is Antarctica?
Why aren't they including Antarctica? I would love to see the figures compared.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta love comparison videos when they throw in just one other thing that's just like much smaller than the other ones, just 'cause it's there.
Data Duck 2.0, you're ruining everything for us and everybody watching. Screw you.
You can't say continent comparison and leave out the most important of them all.
Ah.
My penguins are disappointed.
They could have just replaced human population with penguin population.
Penguins.
Penguins. Let's check this out. I hope you guys enjoy. This should be an interesting one. We're doing full on continents, not countries. And Asia is a lot bigger than the other continents.
Yes.
So let's see how that works.
Asia versus Africa versus Europe versus Americas versus Oceania. Let's welcome our YouTube channel Data Duck 2.0. Number of countries, 49 countries, 54 countries, 44 countries, 14 countries, 35 countries.
Africa.
4.74.
Crazy how big a lot of the Asian countries are.
14 countries,
my God.
35
And I guess this has literally the North America's basically 3 countries.
I mean, 2 of the biggest countries in the world are right next to each other.
countries. Population 4.74 billion,
That's a
1.42
lot.
billion, 748
Also
million,
massive.
45 million,
That's
1.03
Oh,
Wow, we're slacking over here in the Americas.
billion.
we need more
Area,
babies.
44.57 million square kilometers,
This'll be
30.37 million square kilometers,
Oh, it's a lot
10.18
bigger than
million square
Africa.
kilometers,
And Africa's
8.52
big,
million
too.
square
Look at
kilometers,
that.
42.54 million
Oh.
Oh, I guess if you combine the Americas.
Oh, yeah, they're cheating. They're combining them.
square kilometers.
That's crazy to
Density-
think the population then. How much higher the population of Asia was than the Americas if you're combining all the Americas.
Yeah, that's true.
Brazil's got a lot of people.
The U.S. has a lot of people. What the heck?
100 per square kilometer, 36.4 per square kilometer, 73 per square kilometer, 5.27 per square kilometer, 26 per square
That's
kilometer.
insane.
Wow.
I mean, you'd expect Europe to be dense because look at how
small.
small it is, and there's a lot of people. Germany's one of the densest countries in the world. But I mean, you got India, Philippines, Pakistan. I mean, even Korea is super dense.
Think of Asia.
I mean,
This all the Himalayas uninhabitable.
The
All of
Gobi-
Siberia.
the, and
Siberia.
the Gobi Desert and like Kazakhstan and like
This is like this entire Siberian section. Barely anybody lives there. This whole Himalayan section. Barely anyone lives there.
and I mean it's crazy too. Like you go to the Middle
Saudi
East,
Arabia.
not most of it's uninhabitable, but still so many people live there.
Interesting.
Number of billionaires 1146,
Ah.
20,
The most important
592,
metric.
47, 890.
Wow, Asia's winning. Dang nabbit. We're losing. We're losing.
190. Most spoken language Mandarin Chinese.
How many of those 890? How is there only 890? Wait, how was that?
Millionaires?
Was it billion or?
Oh, a billion.
Oh, billion. There's over 1,100 billionaires in Asia.
Really?
I didn't know there was that many billionaires in the world. Like,
No. Is that right?
I mean, COVID, those billionaires just got
Mm.
richer and richer and richer.
We looked at the Forbes list, and if you look at the Forbes list of their net worth, all of them go up in 2020.
Pretty sick. And everyone else is like,
890. Most spoken
But they're just working. They just worked hard. They're
They
pulling
did.
themselves up by their bootstraps.
language Mandarin Chinese 1.13 billion,
Lot
Arabic
of people.
237 million, Russian
Lot of
language
people.
120 million, English
Lot of
more than
people.
30 million, Spanish 400 million. Most followed religion Islam for Asia, Christianity for another 4 continents, 1.24 billion, 730 million, 561 million,
730 million in Africa. I did not know that. That's a lot.
The North is mostly Muslim.
Islam.
And then I guess most like the Congo. What's the Congo?
I think a lot of the sub-Saharan ones are Christian, I think, because
Mm.
that's where all the Europeans went in there and took all,
Yeah.
and West Africa too.
Yeah.
Like all of this is,
And then of course South
yeah,
is also Christian.
interesting. I did
Guess
not
it
know it
makes
was
sense.
that big.
But yeah, no, I didn't either.
20.5 million,
This got to be
885
huge. Okay.
million.
Still, that's so much closer than I would have thought.
Internet users 2.4 billion, 532 million, 617 million, 28 million, 834 million. Olympic performance, total Olympic medals, 3,623, 428,
Is the US gonna pull right here?
712, 4,140.
No, Europe.
Gold, 1221, 122,
Come on, US can pull here.
2,395, 227, 1498. Silver, 1064, 142, 2,565, 215, 1344. Bronze, 2,823, 1338,
Jeez, what the heck,
164,
Europe?
270, 1298. Most populated city, Tokyo 37.2 million, Cairo
Massive.
22.2 million, Istanbul
Massive.
15.8 million, Sydney
Massive.
4.6 million, Sao Paulo
Pretty big.
22.47.
Massive.
Sydney, you're slacking.
Oi, Sydney.
Oi.
Oh, you get it. If you're counting the roos, it's over 50 million.
Oh! Is this only the European side of Istanbul? Because Istanbul is bigger than that, I thought.
It must be. Just look at the map. They have it cut off.
That's interesting.
But that seems like too much for just the European side then.
It does. I thought Istanbul had more than 16 million.
I did too. I don't know.
I don't know, Walt.
Seems kind of sus.
7 million. Richest city by GDP, Tokyo $2.05 trillion, Johannesburg $276 billion,
Yes.
London $978 billion, Sydney $398 billion, New York City $1.87 trillion. GDP for nominal,
Oh,
$39
Tokyo is
trillion.
bigger than
New York City
York.
$1.87
Insane.
trillion. GDP for nominal, $39 trillion, $2.9 trillion, $24 trillion, $2.05 trillion.
US, can you
$33
pull?
trillion.
No!
GDP per capita, $8,263, $2,150, $34,230,
Wow.
$45,555,
That's so much higher.
$31,922.
That's so much higher.
Wow.
But Asia has the most billionaires? Question mark.
Yeah, there you go. There's your question of the day. Most billionaires by far, lowest, other than Africa, lowest GDP per capita by far.
Something is right.
Guys, is it the system or is it the continent?
I think people just aren't working hard enough.
No, they just gotta they could all be billionaires if they tried hard enough.
You know, you just gotta work hard, and you'll be a billionaire too.
This includes.
By the way, we actually have a course. If you go to the link in the description, we have a course to teach you how to be a billionaire. If you want to sign up for that, just pay us $100. We'll give you lessons on how to be a billionaire.
It's called Get Rich Quick Billionaires University.
Yes, yes.
And we'll also tell you how to hate women.
Yep.
And
the Sigma lifestyle.
yeah, pretty cool. Anyways, it's pretty crazy that this is still 32 with some of the very, very poor countries that are in this area.
Yes. There's some very rich countries in there as well.
That's interesting. It's crazy how low this gets, but I mean, I guess.
Yes.
Interesting. And I wonder, so it cuts off Russia too, so it doesn't even, this is definitely the poor side of Russia.
I mean,
not
it
even
cuts
the
off
rich side.
Moscow and St. Petersburg and stuff like that.
Dang.
$2. GDP for PPP, $72.7 trillion, $8.05 trillion, $33.62 trillion, $35.64 trillion, $1.9 trillion.
It's crazy how much lower Africa is. I mean, obviously this population is just so much smaller. You can't really count this one, but Africa is so much lower.
Yeah.
Bad.
$0.9 trillion. GDP per capita for PPP, $15,334, $5,750, $44,946, $42,222, $34,342.
Europe really takes
Military
the cake.
comparison, active personnel, 10.9
Oh,
million,
yeah.
Oh, our
2.9 million,
favorite.
2.18 million, 90,137, 2.91 million.
Well,
Reserve
good thing we're
personnel,
not going to
12.2
continent wars because countries on the same continent usually hate each other more.
Countries next to each other hate each other a lot.
8,993,000, 3.92 million, 48,700, 2.86 million. Battle tanks, 31,370,
Battle
tanks.
8,521, 10,461, 125,
48,000.
aircraft,
Why? 48,000.
That's
13,700,
a lot of metal and steel and money.
3,610, 10,480, 487.
Let's look at these numbers and let's remember the GDP per capita of Asia as we look at these numbers of aircrafts and tanks that they have.
16,226. warships 2101, 4398, 1121, 62, 1920, aircraft carriers 5, 0, 7, 0, 12. Submarine
Oh, yeah.
243, 20, 126, 7, 109. Nuclear weapons 811, 0, 6492, 0, 5428.
We're up.
Defense budget $330 billion, $510 billion, 61 billion.
Whoa. The U.S. has more than that alone. Like a lot more than that.
Let's also look at America, the U.S.'s GDP per capita, and wonder
What the heck's going
how
on?
the heck do they have money for all this?
Don't you think that $800 billion could go towards something beneficial to its citizens?
$32 billion, $835 billion.
That's like all the U.S. The U.S. is 700 over 700 billion. I think at one point, at least a few years ago, it got up to 800 billion. I don't know what it is now. I haven't really kept up on it because it changes occasionally, but usually it just goes up.
Interesting to say the least.
That's crazy.
Most powerful country by global military rank: China 3, Egypt 14, Russia 2, Australia 16,
Egypt's 14.
United States military
That's surprising.
rank is 1. Tallest mountain: Mount Everest 8,848 meter, Mount Kilimanjaro 5,895 meter, Mount Elbrus 5,642
What's the tallest mountain in the Andes?
I don't know. I don't know any
meter,
mountains
Mount
in the Andes, I
Wilhelm
don't think.
We're about to find
4,509
out.
meter,
Mount
Aconcagua
Elbrus is
6,960
I've never heard of that.
7,000 though?
meter.
The Andes are like huge. Like it's like crazy. I mean, we were surprised how tall the Caucasus Mountains were.
Yeah, Elbrus is right there, and that's not even close.
Dang. The
960
Andes are surprising how big they are, but everyone knows the Himalayas are massive.
Largest country by area: Asian part of Russia 13.1 million square kilometers, Algeria
massive.
2.38 million square kilometers,
Very large.
European part of Russia 3.9 million square kilometers.
That's crazy. What the heck? This is
The
OP.
biggest in both continents.
This Algeria, the only place you can live is like right here.
Yeah, that's insane.
Australia 7.69 million
And
square
then
kilometers,
Australia,
Canada
massive, but the only place you can
9.98
live is on the coast.
Yeah, literally.
million square kilometers. Most populated country: China 1.44 billion, Nigeria 219
Wrong
million, European part of
information.
Russia 110 million, Australia 26.2 million, United States 334 million. Highest GDP country: China $19.91 trillion, Nigeria $498 billion, Germany $4.5 trillion, Australia
gosh.
$1.72 trillion.
Africa. That's so much. That's so sad. That continent is just the wealth that has been stolen from that area.
Australia is 4 times higher.
Australia with like 26 million people in the whole country. Crazy.
United States $25.35 trillion. Richest country by GDP per capita: Qatar $82,887,
That is a lot.
Seychelles
That's a lot.
$17,693, Liechtenstein $180,000,
My
Australia
God.
$67,464, United States $76,027.
Jeez,
Thanks for watching.
Liechtenstein. All right, we're moving to Liechtenstein, and we expect to be paid.
That's how
that
it
much.
works. You move the country and you get the average
Yeah.
salary.
That's why everyone in the U.S. makes $76,000.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
And that's why average is the best number to use when
Yeah.
you're looking at numbers, right?
Always.
Never use a median or anything
Nope.
like that.
No, never. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We've traveled to some of these countries in mostly the Asian, European, and American continents. If you would like to check out those videos, you can check out our travel vlog channel.
We get to see all these facts in person.
Heck yeah. We verify in person that every single person in America makes $76,000.
You know what? I haven't seen 37,582 battle tanks in Asia yet. So,
Fake news?
fake news.
See y'all in the next one. Bye.